The prairie stretched endlessly, a sea of gold swaying beneath the soft morning sun. Clara Hale stepped off the train, her small suitcase in hand, inhaling the scent of fresh earth and wildflowers. The town of Silver Creek lay before her, a collection of wooden buildings, a creaky saloon, and horses tied to posts. It was quiet, untouched by the hurry of the world. And for the first time in years, Clara felt the gentle whisper of possibility. Across the street, Eli Turner leaned against a post, adjusting his wide-brimmed hat. His eyes, steady and kind, watched Clara. There was something about her, an air of caution wrapped in quiet courage, that caught his attention. Their eyes met for a fleeting moment, a spark of curiosity bridging the distance between them. Though brief, that glance lingered in both their hearts. Clara struggled to carry her suitcase down the dusty street. Eli approached, his horse kicking up tiny clouds of dust.
Need a hand, miss?
Yes, thank you.
He lifted her suitcase with ease, their hands brushing lightly. A warmth spread between them, silent yet undeniable. In that moment, the prairie seemed to hum with quiet anticipation. Days passed, and Clara began to settle into Silver Creek. The town had its rhythms, the general store where the bells jingled with every customer, the children running barefoot across the streets, the saloon's piano that played cheerful tunes into the evening. Here, Clara met Jackson, a local man with a confident, possessive air. He eyed her with a roguish smile that made her uneasy. But Eli, steady and protective, made it clear she did not need introductions. One afternoon, Eli invited Clara to ride across the open prairie. The horizon stretched endlessly, kissed by the golden light of the late sun. Clara felt the freedom of the land, the wind in her hair, and a joy she hadn't known in years.
The prairie has its magic, and maybe a little of me, too.
They laughed, and their hands brushed as they held the reins. For the first time, Clara felt the stirrings of something deep and steady, an unspoken connection that grew stronger with every shared glance, every laugh carried by the wind. Evening came, and Clara sat by candlelight, writing in her journal. The ink traced the fears and hopes she had kept hidden for so long. Eli knocked softly at the door, entering without a word. She confessed, her voice quiet, that she had a past she could not escape. His response was calm, unwavering.
Whatever it is, you're safe here.
The town's quiet was soon disrupted. Jackson's jealousy festered and tensions escalated. In the saloon, a confrontation threatened to turn violent. Eli stepped forward, protecting Clara with courage and resolve. She watched, heart pounding, as he faced danger with unwavering bravery. In that moment, her admiration for him deepened into something she could no longer deny. Under the prairie night sky, stars sparkling like scattered diamonds, Clara and Eli shared their first true moments of vulnerability. By the firelight, surrounded by the gentle hum of the open land, they confessed their fears, dreams, and hopes. And when the moment felt right, they leaned in for their first kiss, soft, tentative, and filled with promise. But love, as they soon discovered, rarely unfolds without trials. Clara misinterpreted a meeting she witnessed between Eli and another woman, a figure from his past. Doubt clouded her heart, and she withdrew, leaving Eli confused and anxious. Yet truth and trust prevailed. By the riverbank, they reconciled, holding hands as the sunlight danced across the rippling water. The brush of fingers and gentle words mended the cracks, reminding them both that love was not without its trials, but worth every struggle. The prairie, ever beautiful but sometimes harsh, tested them further. A sudden storm swept over the land, forcing them to ride through wind and rain, shielding each other from the elements. Each moment of struggle drew them closer. When they found shelter, soaked and shivering, their laughter mingled with the patter of rain, and they realized they could face any storm together. Tensions in Silver Creek reached a peak when Jackson confronted Eli, claiming Clara belonged to him. Eli, calm and steadfast, reminded everyone that love is never possession, but choice. Jackson left defeated, and Clara's heart swelled with admiration for the man who had become her anchor.
Whatever you decide, I'm with you.
He said, and Clara felt the unwavering certainty of his love. The town celebrated its annual festival, and Clara and Eli moved together in rhythm, laughter spilling around them. She realized that Silver Creek was no longer just a refuge. It was home. Eli was her heart, and she would stay by his side. Under the soft prairie sky, she made that choice. Their love a steady flame against the winds of the past. A temporary farewell came, as Clara needed to leave briefly for family matters. At the train station, she promised to return. Eli, patient and strong, vowed he would wait. As the train pulled away, the prairie seemed to hold its breath, witnessing promises made and hearts intertwined. 1 year later, Clara returned. Eli was waiting in the town square, arms open, heart full. Their reunion was tender and joyous, greeted by cheering townsfolk and the familiar chorus of the prairie. They embraced, golden sunlight bathing their faces, and in that embrace all trials and doubts melted away. Under the endless prairie sky, love had found its home. Clara and Eli stood together, hearts intertwined, knowing that whatever the winds of life might bring, they would face it side by side. As the sun dipped behind the horizon, casting the land in hues of gold and fire, the prairie whispered its quiet blessing over the lovers who had finally found each other.